Yeah, but on what grounds had they done that?
Well, in those days, there used to be, there's an illness called feline infectious peritonitis, FIP.
I'll take the streams up.
Okay.
Right.
And in those days, they had a snap test for it, the vets.
Right.
Now, it's actually one of the derivatives of coronavirus, which is a very, very common virus that humans get as well. And so many cats were testing positive. The vet had said, well, the only way to make sure that, you know, that it's not, they're not reinfecting is have the whole lot put to sleep and start again. And these idiots agreed to it.
Oh, you must have been heartbroken
You've
looking
no
after
idea.
all those cats.
That little one that I'd worked so hard with was put to sleep, even though it got the all clear from the same vet that day.
Absolutely diabolical.
Or that it's not, they're not reinfecting is... Yep.
Everything's up.
But
Easy.
the thing is, you learn. And over the years, I learned that those sort of things, that test is no longer used.
Well, you must have been completely disillusioned. Yeah.
With these, when you work in animal welfare, you tend to learn the hard way.
I think that's terrible.
Mind, I'm going back 20 odd years.
I mean, if I told my daughter that, who's cat daft, should be really difficult to get your head round that.
I mean, this is not the charity that did that. This is people, volunteers, who thought they had more power, you know, than they really had. These days, it wouldn't happen. But these days, we wouldn't be allowed to have 20-odd cats.
Yes.
Wouldn't happen
yes.
anymore.
Well, I'm probably going back when on about this house at Whitburn, about the same period you were talking about. Well over 20 years ago.
Yeah. Not these days. We know there's too many infections happen that way.
Yes.
So there you go. There's your cat lesson for the night.
Well, isn't that terrible?
I learnt the hard way.
Keith.
You've never had a cat, David, have you?
No. Lots of pussies, no cats.
Aye. You can never read their minds, can you, cats?
You can.
You just have to look at them evil vertical eyes.
I mean, Vicky used to sit with this cat on her knee, you know what how she was with that cat, stroking it and be purring. And next minute, for no reason at all, it would take a go at it with either its claw or its teeth.
Yes.
Completely unpredictable.
You learn to read them. We've had, I mean, if you'd met the Siamese I had, that hated men. It was a man hater.
Man.
And you could read that one like a book. You know, and it was such a character. And those are the ones I get fond of. I love the characters.
Like I say, I just don't trust the one that's named after me.
A man hater.
Well, it's not that it's a man hater. I mean, it's a lovely little thing. It is. It's just when when it sits in your lap and it looks up at you and says, "Yeah, you move the wrong leg and there's a claw going straight through bollock." I've never ever fancied a Prince Albert, but that cat would give you one as soon as look at you. Not this cat.
I should tell her about.
Cat over there.
I should tell her about the Satnav.
You should.
Aye.
Aye. Then if you tell it, I can't get into trouble.
Oh right. We're on about Satnavs in cars to me daughter's partner, and he says, I said, isn't it funny? I said, how on these Satnavs it's always a woman's voice. You know, at least the ones I've heard have all been women's voices. He says, oh well, they've done some research in that. He said, as you well know, men will take instructions from women, but in no way will women take instructions from men. And I was telling David, and the more we thought about it, there was something in that, wasn't there?
Well, the majority of married men are properly trained, aren't we?
Well, exactly.
Exactly right.
So did you know that, Chris? She's stuck
She did it,
for
comment.
words.
She did it, comment. She did it, comment.
Yes.
I've got a male voice on mine.
Oh, right.
Yes. But I've heard the male voice on hers.
It gets told off regular.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
And I'll say, I'm not going down there. Forget it. But there you go. It's always company if you're on your own. Quite like the Satnav.
I have difficulty with the female Satnavs where it says, if you have the opportunity, do a U-turn, then take the first left. And I keep on thinking, me mum warned me about women like you.
Well, I remember going a long journey with my brother and sister-in-law, and of course this woman's blathering out her instructions. It was lower stuffed, I think it was, and she said, sort of turn left here, and we said, why, you bloody women, how can you go down there, this sort of bloody track? We're looking for a war memorial. And but sure enough, she was right. Of course, the two women in the car, never lived that down.
I got an Australian one eventually on one of the Satnavs I had, and that was good. That was brilliant because it was Ocker Australian.
All right.
So if you can manage it, take the next left turn. If you don't bother, keep straight on. We'll go to the bloody beach and have a barbie, mate.
Well, you hear of people in Pantechnicons and large vehicles ending up, down some narrow country lane, and they can't turn round.
Yes, I know your lorry won't fit down this road, Dave, but let's try anyway.
Dave, can we just check on the sounds? Kirsty's saying there's
discrepancies.
A little bit of a boom on Keith, and your mic's rubbing a bit on your shirt.
Oh no! All right. It's not worse than your mic. Is that better? That's my mic sorted. Let's try and deboom Keith a bit.
Deboom Keith, is that better?
Am
I deboomed?
Apparently.
Right.
We'll have to wait about 25-30 seconds for Sav to come back.
I think probably Sav's a bit upset about the satellite.
She's going to get even more. She's going to get even more upset when I say the next thing. Because if you think about it, last night I did the show with Sav.
All right.
Right. So last night I was with Sav. Tonight I'm with our mother. It's every man's dream.
God.
Where does he get it from?
I don't know.
But I wish he'd take it back.
I've tried, but I can't get a refund.
I can assure you of one thing.
Yeah, it's okay, she says.
He's always been the same. As long as I've known him.
Some things never change. I'm trying to read chat and I cannot see it. A Satnav, a grandma voice in Satnav.
Hey, how would you have it if you can manage the sun, turn the next left, and then if we go 400 yards down there on the right, there's the bingo, drop us off there and you can find your own way.
1 minute, Dave.
Oh, right.
Buggery on.
Yes.
Buggery on.
Buggery on. We'll be back in a bit, chat.
Safer6.co.uk sponsors of the Haze Hour.
Yes, indeed, do. It's Monday. Last night was Sunday. It's got me confused, Chris.
Yeah, it has me a bit as well.
Because it should have been Friday today, but it isn't. No, it's Monday, isn't it? It is Monday.
Yeah,
Aye, the confusion.
Aye.
Well, because normally VT Talk goes out on a Thursday, and the day after VT Talk is a Friday, but we did VT Talk last night because Dave's tackle box wasn't on, and I wasn't around on Thursday to do VT Talk. So what we did, instead of swapping them over, we replaced one with the other, and now it's Monday.
It's a Monday.
It's a Monday. It's a Monday.
It is.
It is. And we have people sitting watching the show and stuff like that.
We do.
We
seem to have a few problems with chat roll tonight. It seems to be acting up.
Is it? I was wondering about that. It's yes, we've got chat froze, so refresh. Firefox isn't working, and it's all all good stuff, isn't it? I love it when the technology comes together, because it usually is Monday when chat roll decides to do the. We're not going to work for a while and then we'll work again, but never mind.
Well, it's definitely at 9 o'clock it does it.
Oh,
it's a pain.
It's a right complete pain in the jacksy. It's the Martin McKee of chat systems.
Is it?
Yeah, completely bloody useless and a right tit.
Right.
Yes, pain in the jacksy. Yes, without a shadow of a doubt. There's no two ways about that. There we go. We're going to have fun tonight, aren't we, Chris?
Are we? We usually do, don't we?
Yeah.
Well, Keith hasn't got a clue what we're doing.
Has Chris?
No,
well, that makes two of us.
That takes three of us, pet.
Oh, well.
No, we're going to have a look at that. We'll have another look at that stealth device that you got last week, because I got one as well. Look, ha ha ha.
And now we're looking in the antique box.
We're looking in the antique box as well. I'll go to
right.
close up we can. There's a box there. We'll be having a look at that. You'll see this in 20 seconds, Chris. Ha ha. We're going to be having a look at if there's two Lernnaia Hydras in there.
Really?
Oh yes.
Right.
Well, not in there, but there's two to look at.
Beautiful box.
It is. Well, hey, how many women have you said that to?
Oh, God.
Starting as I mean to go on, I don't care. I really don't care.
Isn't there any answer to that, Chris?
No.
There's no answers to that.
Although there is, but I'm not going to go there.
She's not going to go there. And that means I'm not going to go up and pick up me, because apparently me repaired and me refurbished.
Aye,
then again, up now that I've said that, I'll get...
I think we are probably more modest and circumspect in our comments, aren't we?
yes. I'll try to be. But at least we are at the beginning of the show. We're not by the end of it.
I get the blame for all kinds of things, viewers, and it's just not my fault. So for that, I think what we'll do, we'll go into the titles. Because it's a Monday night. It's a nice night. Things have been going well. The sun's been out, the sky is blue, there's not a cloud to spoil the view.
So it's white knuckle
But it's
time.
raining.
Sorry. Yes. Do you fancy wigging out, Chris?
I think if
Come
you
on,
were
then.
both in the same key, it would be better, wouldn't it?
It would.
You're gonna
We
say,
are.
yeah.
We're in the same key, backdoor key.
Oh, right on.
Aye, because we've only got back doors.
So
haven't
is it white knuckle time?
Well, it depends on how you look at it. Personally, I prefer lying on my back and staring up, but that's a whole other story. Time for the titles. It's going to be one of those nights, and I'll just have a quick look at chat before we go there. Does being a little late is somewhat like being slightly pregnant?
we? Right, yeah.
Uh-huh. All right, it was our Daz, was it? Fair enough. Time for the tittles. So, hello, good evening, are you ready? And welcome to...
The
Haze Hour.
Haze Hour.
What'd she say? I enjoyed that, did you, Chris?
How long does that last?
32 seconds.
Seems like a bloody hour.
Really? Keith's got a new show on BBC Two. You've heard of Grumpy Old Men. It's grumpy old bastards. That's
I
what
don't
it is.
mind the grumpy, it's the old.
Aye, exactly right. Yes. Yes. Hey, listen. Have either of you ever been in the situation where you're out and about, or you sat in front of the telly, and you get to the stage where your batteries just run out, and you think, bugger. You know you know what it's like, Keith. You know what the ladies are like.
Yes.
You get up one morning thinking, nice easy day.
Yes.
And then you get, I thought we might go out. All right, I fine. Where do you want to go? Berwick.
Oh.
You know?
Yes.
That sort of thing.
Yes.
So, okay then. And then you get in the car with an 18650 in your mod.
Yeah.
Off you go. You get up past Horton.
Yeah.
There's Long Horton. And you get up past Holy Island and you carry on. And you get just short of Berwick and your battery runs out.
Well, my battery ran out on Saturday night.
Oh my goodness me. It did? Tell
did.
everybody about your battery.
Yes, I was in enjoying your excellent cuisine, Master Chef, and
At least it wasn't Master Bates.
and my battery ran out. So I said, I'll go next door and get new battery. But as a perfect host, you went into the house amongst your vast selection of batteries and came out with one, which I returned when I left.
You did?
Mm-hmm.
It's true, he did. He unscrewed the clear miser off the top and left the battery on the table.
Yes.
If I'd have been you...
That's honesty.
It is, it's absolutely honesty. Either that or you're pissed. Which was it?
So it was none of this.
Well, you haven't got one.
I think I did on Saturday
You
night.
might well have done. Anyway, yes, the thing about it is, for donkey's ages, whenever I've gone out, whenever I've done a day trip down to London, or funny places like that, as people well know, as you would have seen from the video last week, there's an 18650 in this pocket, 18650 in that pocket, 18500 in this pocket, spare batteries in that pocket, and a couple of bottles of juice, just to be on the safe side. The other day, after I'd been up to Cats last Tuesday and got this beastie, right? The other day my darling wife says I were going out. I said, aye, come on then. And that was all I took. Right? Now, it's a 3500 milliamp hour 26650 that's in this, Chris.
Mm-hmm.
If you just have a look there on the desk beside you, Keith, you'll see that orange battery.
Yes.
If you just pull it out from the end where your hand is, that's it. Actually, Chris, on the telly, there's not a fat lot of difference in the sizes. Look at that. This, I'll go to closely up, Cam. I shall do it. There you've got Chris there, and there it is. Look, it says on it. Put it the right way up, David, and people will be able to see. 26650, 3500 milliamp hours, and it is huge. Well, that is what fits in this beautiful Pioneer for you, and it is. I think it's. I'll have to shift that box because this is such a big bugger. It'll not fit on. Get that out of the way. Stick that up there. Put the battery the right way up. This is me being completely prepared. No, don't go in. Go out. I can't read. Couldn't tell the difference between W and T. This is it. This is the beastie. Now, last week, Chris, you said you were waving it around like trying to get it to work, yes?
Oh, I had a terrible time, but that's because... Do you remember those? I'm going to go back probably 20, 25 years when you got those first Casio calculators.
Oh, yes.
Do you remember those little
Yes.
calculators? And you had to press the button 3 times for this, 4 times for that, 22 times for something else, go back to go and do not collect £200. And that's what it... not just that one, all of them, the Vamo, the Sigeli, all of them are like that to me. I'm completely lost.
Well,
So that's why I was weaving it around.
right. Well, it's easier than you think. Close up your cam comes.
Aye,
Let's
so
go.
sad.
Let's go from battery going in, and I shall squeaky.
Squeaky.
Right. So that it's completely turned off there now. How the nas. So I'll...
Not behind me.
I know, it's a noisy little bugger. It can be, you can polish the threads a bit. It's. I think the word is agricultural. That's probably the word we're looking for.
Is it?
It's solid enough, but it's agricultural. So a bit like a tractor. A bit like a tractor. Right. So to switch it on, 1, 2. Oh look, we're on. Were we on? Yes, we are. So I'll have to do the really tight up now and try and work this out. So if I've got the room, right, there we go. So what you see on the screen is like that when it's up. Now you'll notice there's a 4.57 volts. That's what it's putting out. The 1.9 on that side is the coil that's on, and the 3.9 just above my finger is how much is left in the battery that's in there. And I've had this battery in here since 11 o'clock this morning, and you can see how full it is.
I do like that feature, mind.
So if you give it 5 presses, well, let's give it 3 presses, and you can see the little lock come up. So that's it turned off and it's safe. You can press the button and now it'll happen, just comes up locked. Another 3 turns it on, locks open. Yeah, and back to where we were. But how do you change the watts? It's just one button, like Apple's used to be. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we get there to 11 watts. And if I now tip it, you can see it going up and down. If I tip it the other, oh, this is going to be clever, David. If I tip it the other way, back up to 11, and it goes. This is going to be dangerous. I'll try and get it going really, really fast. There we're going. Where shall we stop, Chris?
Anywhere you like.
How does 22 watts strike you?
Too much.
I know, but I'm going to try it anyway because I'm daft. When it gets to that exit, you just tip it again and you're back to where you need to be. And as you can see, it is set to 22 watts, which in this case would be 6.46 volts. And like a fool, I'm going to try it. In fact, I'll go to get on to Dave. Wish me luck as you wave me goodbye. Dear me, that's where. Would you like to go? I didn't think you would somehow. So that's how. I'll better take it back down. I'll do it on close up cam so people can see it occur. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. System on. Tip. Oh, it's gone to bye bye. If you tip it the wrong way, it goes bye bye and switches itself off. So you've got to give it 5 presses to come back on. This was what I was looking for before. The SX220. It's now on. So 5 more presses. Oh, come on, David. Right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. System on. And I press the button again. That gets you into the SETI thing. And I want it to go down. Like all men. I want it to go down. So we'll go back down super fast. Back down to 10.5, I think. Whoop. Tip it the other way. 10. There you are. 10.7. Back down. 2. 10.5. Press the button. And that's it. We're back on. 10.5 watts. So we'll have another blast now. Do you? I mean, have you been getting away with that or not, Chris?
Well, I quite liked it, to be honest. I had it set at 11 watts. And that worked quite well, as long as I didn't change anything. But I bought it originally for my dear husband, for Ron, so he's been using it this last week. And I think you're fairly happy, aren't you, Ron?
Yes, I've fathomed out how to use it.
There you go, he's fathomed out how to use it, so he's happy.
Well, that's...
So, yeah, it's a good mod.
It's...
But
so what?
Sorry, Chris, go on, carry on.
It's just all that faffing about, you know, pressing buttons. And I'll be honest, you know, I'm not picking on that mod because it's quite a few of them, like this one that I've been using non-stop for blooming ages now since I got it. This one's got the same type of thing at the bottom there where you've got to hold 2 buttons down, sing Waltzing Matilda and whistle on a flute for 10 minutes and all of that. to get it to do anything, and I can't be bothered with all that. I just like to press a button, you know. So I've got it where I like it, round about, 8.5 to 9 watts. I'm happy with that.
So what would happen if you put it down without switching it off and it was tilted?
Nothing. Oh, the 722, nothing, because when you exit the menu, it's set. It doesn't move.
Right.
You can throw it wherever you like, and nothing will happen until you go back in and press the buttons how many times again.
Right. With you. Yeah.
So it's safe.
Right.
You know?
Yes, it does. It kind of doesn't matter once it's out of that. You're not constantly standing there like a Catholic bishop.
I mean that didn't seem overly complicated like some of them are.
Oh, once you get used to it, it's dead easy.
It's just me.
Yeah.
It's not.
What? No,
it's not just you,
That's
Chris.
what I'm saying.
No.
I have the same problem with this. If I start.
I mean, even I was beginning to understand that. While with some of them, I've been lost off halfway through the demonstration. I mean, that's me. But that I could follow.
Yes, it's very boring. Saying, did they mention the lock system too? Yeah, 3 presses and it's locked.
That I got the hang of, and I like that. And what I love the most about it is something you just described there, that all the information you could possibly want is on the screen. And it's easy to read. So you don't have to press buttons for that, as you do with quite a few other mods. You know?
Yes.
I like that.
Exactly. And the thing for me, I tend to go through 3 18500s because I've got my Poldiac with the TNS on top, which is very rarely out my hands, and I'm using 18500 with a kick in there, and that I go through 3 18500s in a day easily. Quite often 4. With an 18650, I know I'm going to be onto a second 18650 during the course of the day.
Yes.
This great big thing is getting me through a full day, which tells me a number of things. One is 3500, and to be honest, there's probably another 100 drags in it by the time I get to the end of the day. I could, in all seriousness, I could probably get away with 1 battery. We've got 2. You've got 2 as well, haven't you, Chris?
Yeah.
But in all honesty, I could probably get away with 1 battery. As it happens, it's nice to know that there's 1 on charge, because you're always going to find yourself in that situation where you're vaping like a train, you know, and you clear a battery out quicker than you thought you might, and it's always good to have a second one available. And obviously, in case the battery, your first battery, your primary battery's gone bye-bye. And
of course, the price was quite reasonable, wasn't it, in comparison with some of the competitors?
Well, it was
69.99 or something.
My favourite number and 99 pence, yes. 69.99. 70 quid and a penny change. And the batteries are what, a tenner each?
Yeah.
So I mean,
you can get them cheaper. Because I wasn't certain what to buy, and I did quite a bit of research on it. And you know, these Minkies, as I call them, MNKEs, had the best reputation, so that's what I went for.
Well, it works. I'm sorry, I got caught up watching chat. Apparently there might be a problem with the YouTube feed. I'm just checking now.
Yeah, we seem to have having a few problems here and there tonight. I'm sure Mark's on it.
Well, it seems to be running, and I'm not seeing any errors. There's usually a little catalogue of errors, so it might be coming out rather than going in. But no doubt the team will keep us updated with what's going on. Abrew has just said he calls them monkeys. MNKE, monkeys, rather than minkies.
I call them minkies because I think of the whales.
I had said some people call them monkeys.
Monkeys?
Or if you're really posh, menkies, and then it could be anything, couldn't it? Menkies.
Good, yes, menkies.
Is that a minky whale? Yeah, it's a manky minky. Manky minky with a manky on top. Yeah, it's lovely. That's a coincidence. It's lovely.
Tell you what we'll do. We'll take a quick blast of the old advertisement, as it were, And when we come back, we shall open that box. And Chris, 25 seconds later, will go, ooh.
Right.
Brill.
Voila.
Well, I've polished it.
Ah.
And I'll tell you
So
the story.
she's seen inside the box, has she?
Pardon?
She's seen inside the box,
Yes.
has she?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Oh, well,
Oh,
there's
yes.
no element of surprise then.
Well,
There always is. I've got a memory like a sieve, you know that.
see, both Chris and I, we think that we're possibly getting into early stage Alzheimer's.
Aye. Definitely senile, the pair of it.
But the big bonus about that is you make new friends every day. Brilliant. Back in 2 ticks.
Safer6.co.uk, sponsors of the Haze Hour. Safer6, sponsors of the Haze Hour.
And we is back in the room. We've been away for a short while. Now we're here again. It's the way it works. It's all good. All good. Yeah, Keith was just saying during the break he'd been up to Jai's, our local corner shop. You know, the guy I did the interview with. Lovely lad. And you were saying?
He'd ran out of classic tobacco, which was the one we tried. It was very nice.
Yes, yes.
And his wife was quick to point out that they'd got a new stock in.
So did you get some?
I only had £1 in my pocket to get the paper, so I said, oh, I'll get some tomorrow.
Would he not give you a tick?
Well, I didn't ask for tick.
Why? Should always ask for tick. Glad and sorry.
No.
Oh, I used
Put
to.
it on the slate.
Aye, bit of glad and sorry. Glad I've got
Glad
it. Sorry, I
and
cannot
sorry.
pay for it. Yes, all good stuff. I tell you what, it is so handy. It really is so handy having a corner shop that's stocking juices at reasonable prices that you like. We were in the other day, Jill and I, and they've got some called Vivid, V-I-V-I-D, which sounds a bit like Old MacDonald.
Vivid?
Yeah, it's apparently it's the dyslexics version of Old MacDonald's juices. Old MacDonald had a juice, V-I-V-I-D. Is that not how it goes?
No.
Oh, sorry. Apparently, Silent 79 is Spartacus. Did you know that? Just thought I'd point that out. I'm telling you now, chat. If you're watching on video on demand, you need to come and watch live because chat does some amazing things. Where were we? Yes.
Just when you were talking about that, it would be nice at some point to have the retailers' input into the show, wouldn't it?
Well, we can do that.
Yeah, because the other day he was filling me head with all these stupid regulations about cigarettes, packets of 19, banning menthol cigarettes, letters he'd received and all the rest of it.
Oh, well, they're at the sharp end, aren't
And
they?
of course, when he's got to put his doors on, and the fact that then you won't be able to go in and say, well, what's the cheapest cigarettes you've got? Because technically, he's not allowed to tell you.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard such bloody nonsense?
It's what's the word I'm looking for? It's a load of bollocks.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Well, it is.
Was that the word you were looking for, Dave?
It was exactly right. It's a travesty. It's ridiculous. It is redonkulous. It is a festering pile of turgid dingo kidneys.
So then you think of the problem of the small shopkeeper. You know, it's not as if he's in a supermarket and... Do you know what I mean? Having to implement all of these stupid regulations.
Welcome to the world of the TPD.
Wow.
It's craziness. Absolute.
So what is the reason for banning menthol cigarettes?
Oh.
Which I didn't know till he told me.
Because kids like menthol, apparently. According to the numpties, and I use the word advisedly because I'm not allowed to say anything more than that, otherwise Chris will clip us. According to the numpties, menthol makes it easier to smoke lit tobacco. Apparently it cools the throat, right, and it makes it more palatable for somebody that's never smoked to smoke a cigarette. Therefore they want to ban it, and they have banned it, and it'll take 5 years. 2020, you can't sell menthol cigarettes after 2020 in Europe. Like that's going to stop anybody, because it's not.
I've never heard such crap.
You can say it out loud. It's an adult audience.
I've
We're
never
over
heard
18.
such crap
Yes.
in all my life.
It's a pile of shite. And I use that word advisedly. And I'm just checking. Yes. Chat has gone, think of the children, Keith. You've got to think of the children, Keith. Yes. Think of the children. Children might like menthol. And so, you know...
So does that mean that we shouldn't allow our children to buy things like polo mints in case it introduces them to too many sweeties?
Exactly what was passing through my mind as you said it.
Polo's a gateway to menthol tabs, and menthol tabs apparently a gateway to a life of prostitution and heroin and crack and God knows what else.
Controlling people's everyday lives.
Well, have you not seen what the... I'm sorry to diverge, but I think it's probably worth talking about. On Twitter yesterday, some group of tosspots have come up with plain packaging for crisps. Right? It's a plain blue bag. I'm serious. Plain blue bag with the name of the crisps on in Helvetica type, with a white box and a black border saying eating these can cause obesity. And it's I'm going to get me fist done, tattooed all in white, right, with a message going on there, spouting shite about being a nanny state can cause this fist to enter your nose at a rate of knots. Seriously, man, honestly, they want to wind their necks in.
No, it's like a sort of George Orwell thing, isn't it, really, when you think about
Well,
it?
the problem with it is they've all read 1984 and the daft buggers think it's a bloody manual, not a warning.
No wonder, you know, we have so many people suffer from depression in this country.
Well,
They do everything to make your life a bloody misery, don't they?
Exactly.
well, it's true to say. It's true to say. If you wander down the corridors of power, especially the socialist corridors of power, you can listen to the doors. You'll hear them sobbing away over their desks every time they realise that somewhere somebody's enjoying themselves. Seriously, they want to suck the bloody fun out of everything in life.
Yes.
And there I was going to have a happy show tonight.
Sorry, that's
It's
my
all right.
fault.
Well, I'll tell
Blame
you.
me.
No, it's fine. Because you know, Keith. Tonight we got a kit delivered to make a gazebo,
Oh yes.
and the little man's going to come round and help us put it up. I'm saying, little man, he's
You're
good
going to
lad.
help him.
I'm going to be the apprentice.
Yeah,
Until he turns around and
I
goes,
can imagine that.
"You're fired." But yes, so we're going to put this gazebo up. But the guy that delivered it's come up from down south somewhere, Northampton. And it turns out he's a smoker. And of course, when he saw, and he tried e-cigs, but it was a lucky likey, and he couldn't get away with it. Then he tried an e-lights, and he couldn't get away with that at all. Ain't good. And he was looking at the gear I had, and he says, well, so what's the crack? So we're telling him, Jill and I, you know, I've been using e-cigs for 5 years. 5 years gone Saturday, as it happens. Slowly. 5 years gone Saturday since I last had a fag. And we got on talking. Anyway, I've sent him away with one of the ones from Jai's.
Right.
And
Right.
Liberty Flights, and thank you to Liberty Flights, sent us a box of juices.
Right.
Little 10ml juices to try, so I've given him them to take away. Because he couldn't quite work out what was the best way of getting involved in e-cigs so that it wasn't going to be a pain in the arse, as he put it. Finding something that worked. So we've sent him away with that.
Well, you see, it brings you back to what I was saying about this the other day.
Yeah.
You know, nothing wrong with it.
No.
And you're talking, what, 14 quid or something?
Mm-hmm. Exactly right. That's the kick one, of course. Well, this is one from Jai's, and I mean, it's fine. So I've sent him with the proper charger,
Yes.
the battery,
Yeah.
and the CE4 on the top. 5 different juices. So there's like a gummy bears. There's various different ones from Liberty Flights. They're XO range, so they're good.
Well, I
juice.
mean, that was excellent. I mean, £7 or something, wasn't it? £7?
$6.99 for the e-cig.
I
Yes.
mean,
Like I said, corner shop.
exactly.
I'm loving it. I think it's
And
brilliant.
so it takes you all back to these disposables and people getting the wrong impression
From
of what.
from a cigarette.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean this was what they were saying, and actually I'm going to pop something
But
up
you
on.
see, that's where the advertising's concentrated. You know, the Sunday papers with full-page adverts
Yes.
for e-lights.
And funnily enough, you mentioning that, we noticed this weekend, because you mentioned it, didn't you, Chris, that Vape has been cut in price by half, hasn't it?
Yeah, they have.
Yes. And I was.
I wish they'd give me £3 back. I'm still fuming over what I paid for mine.
Well, it's interesting. Sav was sitting there saying, I wonder where they got that idea from. Couldn't have anything to do with the community saying, oh, they're too expensive. So they've cut their prices down to $3.99 now, which I think it's possibly a lot. Well, it's a lot more reasonable. It's 50% more reasonable, isn't it? Or 100%.
Yes, but you see, how many people are seeing these adverts, buying these disposable cigarettes, and then saying, well, you know, I can't get away with that.
Well, yes, exactly. I should just point out, Rob Tyfe's just typed into chat that he was interviewed by S4C today. He accused Mark Drakeford of deceiving the Assembly. They're interviewing him on Thursday. Hope they call him out on it. Just to say, I want to cover Wales on VT Talk on Thursday, because most of what happened with Wales happened while I was away last week and the week before, and I kind of want to do a roundup on Wales on Thursday, so be prepped. I'm trying to get some fairly high level guests if I can. We'll see where we get with that. I'd love to get Mark Drakeford, but I don't think it's going to happen somehow. Unlikely to occur. But there's all kinds of stuff going on, and Sav's typed in, get in touch with Dave Robb with info for Thursday. In fact, Rob, if you want to come on, come and be a guest. Come and join me. That's where we'll go. Good Lord, we've just been gobbing for a quarter of an hour.
That long?
That long. I'll tell you what, we'll take a quick blast of adverts and then we will open the box. Shall we do that,
Antique
Chris?
box.
Yeah, good idea.
We'll do that. We'll take some adverts, then open the box. It's amazing how things happen, isn't it?
It is.
Back in 2 ticks.
Safer Six, sponsors of the Haze Hour. Safer Cigs, sponsors of the Haze Hour.
And we're back in the room. We're back in the room. Time. Shall we open the magic box, Chris?
Open the magic box.
We'll open the magic box. Here we go. Magic
Well,
box.
can I just say, the box is really impressive.
Isn't it though? El Cigar.
An antique box.
El
looks
Cigar.
like.
Well, I don't think it's really an antique.
Well, it
I think
won't
it's been
be.
antiqued, but it
Distressed.
does. Pardon?
It's distressed.
Is it?
Yes.
Oh, poor little box. There. Don't be distressed. Right. To the left of it. We'll just move the. I'm doing this. I'm teasing. I know. This is the Prince of Darkness finish. Has it got to you yet, Chris?
Mm-hmm.
This is the Prince of Darkness finish that I mentioned the other day. Black as a black thing. And this is in 18500 mode. And I'll probably use this one to demonstrate. You will see why when I open the box. So I shall just move that slightly out of shot, like that. And then move the box back into shot, like that, and get it square on. Move it slightly forward. There we are, in shot. And lift the little lid. And look at that. This is how it arrived. Alright? This is how it arrived. With a lovely little... I haven't even undone the string, but I shall undo the string. It's a bit like Christmas, this. I'm expecting to find a fried carrot. Almost, but not. So pull the string out. And then undo the black stuff. Are you ready, Chris? And lo and behold, here we have it. Now this is my version of polished, because I've been using this a lot. And if I give it a little, I'll give it a little wipe, because I think there's preservative and stuff in that cloth, so it doesn't rust or tarnish in transit. There you are. Look at that. Isn't that absolutely beautiful? All in brass, all nicely engraved and stuff like that. And I haven't done anything other than stick a kick in the kick ring, which, as you can see, is lefty tighty, righty loosey. So it's a different hand thread. So I've got the kick in the kick ring, which I wasn't expecting seeing, which is a good move, I think, and that makes it very, very attractive. And I will get this to go back in. Come on, David. That's because I've got the battery in, of course. Try to do this all on camera and making a hash of it. There we go. Oh, God. I should have known better. I know what to do. I'll take the top connector off. There we go. And I've been giving this a lot of use with the kick in, and it is really nice. The machining, the construction, the build quality is peerless. It's gorgeous, absolutely marvellous. And when I went up to Chris's the other day, she had this, which is the brass cover for the Kraken, and said you need the brass cover for the Kraken. So I've done it, Chris.
Oh, good.
Put it together, and I'm telling you now, it looks the bog's dollocks. It's absolutely gorgeous. I shall go to Dave Cam and look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Switch it on with a little clicky thing at the bottom.
Beautiful, that.
That is, wow, that's hitting nice. I'm going to just put that to one side for the moment and run through the features on the Prince of Darkness one, just to show you how it all comes together. So if I...
That is beautiful. I've just got it on screen now. Absolutely lovely.
Has it come to you, has it? So this is set up in 18500 mode, and as I say, the top cap, the top connector, is a left-hand thread, right? Left-hand thread as it comes out. And what you'll notice is it's got an adjustable centre post, which is adjustable in two directions. So if I was to push up at the bottom, it pushes up slightly at the top, so you can actually, there you go, as you can see, it's come up, so you can take your device of choice, and in this case I'm going to use an AnyVape Divide, and set that to be as flush as you want. There we go, we've got the threading, trying to keep on camera, And obviously the threading for, I need to push that down a little bit further, I do apologise. So you can push that down, whoops, as far as, well, it's come out now, doesn't matter. So you can put your device of choice in, as I say, and get that as flush as you like. So there you go, completely flush, as you can see. And then the centre pin, which is silver, right, that centre pin is silver. It's not plated, it's solid. And that will then just push in and make connection at the bottom, and then this little threaded screw nut thing will move up and down so that you can get your optimum fit of battery and device. That's how that works. The tube itself is beautifully machined. I mean, those threads are absolutely bang on, and you'll see there are 4 vents down there at the bottom just in case disaster strikes. As I say, this is the Prince of Darkness finish. Now this goes in left hand thread, which once you get used to it is quite easy to do. So there you go, left hand thread, everything flush as a flush thing. Then your battery goes in and your button goes on at the bottom. I don't know whether to take this button to bits, but what I will tell you is all of this bottom section of the button is gold plated right the way. The whole of that button, not just the portion that you press, but all of it is gold plated so that it's not going to tarnish, and it keeps making good contact with everything else. And as you can see, the contact point at the bottom, and I need to switch it on, contact point at the bottom is huge, and you will notice as well it's knurled round there. I don't know if I can get that any closer and keep it in focus. I shall try. See if we can. No, it's not going to focus. I'm as close as I can get there to keep it focused. I do apologise. So that's knurled so that you can, oh, I might as well take it to bits, it's easy to do. So there's the connector button, that's silver plated, and if I let that is all gold plated, and this is the spring that does the job, but that's all gold, it's not going to tarnish. And slits in, you can see there's a nice receiver slot there for it all to go in, so you can see how it works. Push it in, line it up with the slot, which means that your bottom button is also slightly adjustable, but gold and silver, 2 best conductors available. I'm just looking to see if there's any. DD has no use for a soul. I've missed out what that's for.
You see, visually that gushes quality, doesn't it?
It's I've rarely come across such good engineering. It really is beautifully made.
And I think what finishes the black tube off is that silver design. Set
Stands
against,
out, doesn't it?
It does, set against the black.
Right, now, I'm here to tell you, and I'll do this now, that has no airflow now, because that any vape device does not like being that closed down. So, it's very easy to just undo the top cap, take it up so you've got some air, push your centre pin in, drop your little screw down a touch, and then screw it back in. Lefty tighty, righty loosey. And there we go. I've now got a little gap to let some air in. I don't know whether you can see, but there it is. And let's give it a blast. And that's working very nicely, thank you, for an any vape DVD. Do you want to have a blast, Keith?
Look at it first. God. That's really sophisticated, isn't it?
It's lovely in the hand. The beauty about the Prince of Darkness finish, of course, is there's no way I'm going to tarnish it.
Yes.
Not going to happen. Liking that?
Very much. Yes. Yeah, I'm trying to find the word. There's something gentlemanly about that, if you follow my meaning.
It's yes. As you know, my darling wife is quite she's quite the lady. She's elegant, very elegant, and she's told me she would not object to me taking that out if we were going somewhere smart. She might, on the other hand, have something to say about the 722.
If you were going out with your dinner jacket and dicky bow, you know, that wouldn't be out of place, would it?
I so rarely get the chance these days. It's not often I get the chance to get me dicky out. How many men do?
But do you know what I mean?
Yes. So that's elcigart.com, elcigart.com. That's where they come from.
So where they're made?
Greece.
Oh, right.
Greece. And they are beautifully made. The workmanship is
Yeah.
Are you on the site, Chris?
No. I'm too busy looking at that and envying it. I love the black one.
Yes.
The Prince of Darkness.
Yeah, it's the black one I would go for.
Yes.
Elcigart.
It's Whip It Up 69 is asking whether the Prince of Darkness is a paint or anodised finished. It's a coating. It's like a rubberized coating, so it's not anodised, and it doesn't feel like a paint. I think it could be powder coated actually.
It could be, but it's got a sort of leathery texture to it.
Yes. I wish I could. I really wish I could let you feel it. We should have philo-vision.
Yeah.
Philo-vision and smelly-vision would be marvellous.
And of course,
is there anything specific you want from that site, Dave?
What else you got? Why?
Well, I'm on there now.
Oh yeah.
See, it's not marking at all.
No, it does. It's not a fingerprint magnet by any stretch of the imagination.
And the button is so...
Oh, it's so light.
Light.
And the thing is, even with it switched on, and I've got 3 of these now, even with it switched on, you can't make it fire just by standing it on its end. And that switch at the bottom, I need to go through the switch. Off, on, that's it. That's all it takes. And I can't even find. I would need to put a little mark on it if I could, so that you could see the movement.
So are you saying I could stand this on its button?
Yep, won't fire. Just won't fire. I mean, as ever, you know, anything shiny is going to be a fingerprint magnet, but this finish, it's powder coated, and you can see the engraving sits on it really well. I just wish I could get the camera to focus really close up. I might try and do that.
You could say understated sophistication.
Easy for you to say,
isn't it?
It is. It's gorgeous, and I've discovered that I can use my little finger to switch it on and off.
Well, I was, yeah.
Just switching it with the
yes,
ring.
That's what I was doing.
Dead easy to switch it and then just knuckle it to press it. It's gorgeous, really nice. I really like them. What you found, Chris?
I'm a bit lost on here, to be honest with you. How did you manage to buy anything?
I ended up talking to them.
I was going to say, because it's not straightforward.
No, the site is, I'll freely admit, the site is a little difficult to navigate, but the products are worth it in the end. You've got to get on the UK version of it. They've got both English and Greek, but it's worth having a look. It's worth having a look.
So, am I allowed to ask about price range?
Yes. The Lernnaia Hydra on its tot, I think, is €120.
Right.
There or thereabouts. The Zorbas, which fits on top, is another 120, and there are kind of package prices on them. I'm not sure how much the Prince of Darkness in 18500 mode is.
Right.
Can't remember off the top of my head. And the brass one, again, I can't really remember. But they're not mega cheap, but I don't think they're expensive for the workmanship that's in them. And certainly when you've got slugs of silver and slugs of gold in them,
exactly.
You know, it's all good, all good. I'm quite impressed by that. So let's have a look and see what we've got. Furious Fury's asking us who's going to say that finger the ring jokes then. You will note it wasn't me. Yes. Vaping Art has them, says Max Drum. And very boring for it is he's a good lad. This is the latest preferred coating being used around the place. Ehrlichen.com. Yeah, right. It tells you how it does. It's a PVD, whatever PVD is. It's nice. Leanna Lawless is saying, why not use the Greek site? For the simple reason, I don't speak Greek.
Yes.
And yeah, there is a list of registered distributors on there if anybody wants them, so they are on there.
Apparently, Leanna Lawless speaks Greek. Did you know that? I didn't know that.
Double Dutch sometime, I've noticed.
Well, I was going to say I'm fluent in gibberish and I understand every word she says.
Sorry, Leanna.
We're only joking. We are. We're only joking. We're not, are we, Chris? No, we are. We're only joking. We're not. No, we are. We're only... Stop it, Keith.
That,
yes. Bad influence on me, you really are.
Who, me?
Yeah. Yeah,
The
yeah.
other way around, I would have thought.
What? I'm a
Bad
good...
influence.
No. I'm a perfect influence.
Paragon of virtue.
A paragon
yes.
of... That's exactly what I am, a paragon of virtue.
Right.
Next week I will have my copper back.
Pardon?
Won't I, Chris?
You might do.
Have you got... Oh, dear God, no. Have you played with it?
No.
Unwrap it.
Still in the wrapper.
Unwrap it. Don't you love that sound?
Yes.
It's the sound of Christmas and bubble wrap. Not bubble gum, bubble wrap.
That's taking some unwrapping, isn't it?
Oh, well, there you are, look at that.
There you go.
And the 510 connector's being changed, I understand.
All fixed.
All sorted. So that's going to get... Oh dear. It looks as though... Oh God.
What?
Right, Leanna Lawless is now typing into chat in Greek. Good on you, kid. The Furious Fury 79, it says, it's payday soon. Looks like I'll get me one. And apparently he's sending the wife up to me when she goes nuts. That's what he's saying. Yes, there you go. Leanna Lawless has got Lernnaia Hydra, Polish 22mm, 18350, 18500, it's all gone off. Right. Disco Des couldn't get chat to load. And Keith, they're asking, did you have more sun in your garden than I did because you look darker than me? There's a reason for that.
It's
It's not.
Is it not?
No, you've been laid out in it all day.
I haven't.
You have.
I've been out.
Get away, you've been out.
I haven't been in this
I heard you
all day.
snoring.
Me?
Aye.
I don't think so.
Well, it must have been Vicky then.
No, I haven't been out in it all day.
Ah, well.
In fact, you were out longer than we were.
No, that's not true.
You were.
No.
Well.
But I was sat in the shade because I burn easy. It's not spray tan, Midge Dog. No, it's not spray. Unless there's been splashback from creosote and fence.
Oh, that could be. Yes.
Could be. You never just know your luck.
But that was a couple of weeks ago.
It is a bit aye. So right, let's come back to this this kick device that you've been using. That's KIK. Kick.
Yes.
What's the crack? Do tell.
Extremely reliable, and as I think I've said before, lightweight, discreet for carrying around. I was quite impressed. I mean, I've used it almost exclusively for 2 weeks now, and yeah, it's good.
And
and given the price,
$14.95, yeah,
15 quid, and that's the sort of thing that really beginners should be being encouraged to use. And
yes.
you know, it's a pity some of the companies who market these can't do more newspaper advertising.
Yes,
You know, to compete with the disposables.
indeed. Now, Sav's just typed into chat that she thinks the price somebody's quoted is for the full bit with the Zorbus on top. If it's around 240 or more, it is the full bit with the Zorbus on top. The individual parts are much, much less expensive than that. The Zorbus, I'm here to tell you, I have on my Chrome Lernnaia Hydra, and it's cracking. It's just not letting me down. It's doing the job. It goes up again to 22 watts, exactly as it should be. I'm really very impressed by all of those. I do like them, and I've said this before and I'll say it again. Most people that know me know I'm not really a button fan, but this one doesn't feel like your standard button. It's so easy to use. It's so easy to adjust. The button is so light. I love it to bits. It's glorious.
No, I mean, that would be my, you know, nothing complicated about it. Very straightforward. Quality.
Yes.
You know, you're not looking at voltages and amps and God knows what else.
No, you just plug it in and use it.
Well, that's right.
Exactly right. Exactly right. Is there anything else we need to cover tonight, Chris?
I think we've covered most of the things, and we're just about at the end of the show.
Indeed we are.
So, I know what I was going to tell you.
Yep.
And we were talking about Greek things. I see that Imio from GG Famous has posted details of a new mod over at UK Vapors. And I had a look at the pictures, and I was a little disappointed, to be honest. It didn't spell GG. You know, I mean, probably is very nice, but it didn't say GG to me.
Right.
And unfortunately, Sav and I had a problem pronouncing the names, and I know somebody's sure to bloom and ask us. But it had a very strange name, and I'll let Sav type it in.
Right.
Because I didn't really want to say what we were calling it.
That's maybe just as well.
Aye.
That's where discretion is the better part of valour.
So if anybody wants to have a look, go on to UKV and see the pictures on there.
Yes.
Because and I'll be interested what people think, because I've done GG for years, you know, so have you.
Yes.
Sorry about my birds, they're
That's
going
all
mad
right.
there.
No, my GGs are never very far from me. There's always one close to
No,
it.
me either. It's in constant use, but
Yes.
it's got the button at the top, and it's like a pressy button, and
A top button GG?
you see, she's gone and said it. I thought she'd put the right name. We call it the estrogen,
The estrogen.
and it cannot be.
No.
It doesn't raise my hormone level, but it's there if anybody wants to have a look. That's about it, I think.
I'm gonna have to go and have a look now just to see what it is. But there you go.
Aye. The estrogen.
Yes.
It's christened now. It's going to have to be called that.
Yes, absolutely. Very boring says it's understated for a GG, and it's called an esterigon.
Well, now you can see why it's called the estrogen.
The
can't
mech
you?
is the EG esterigon. The new VWGG is the Proteus. That's from Egomaniac.
He spoke about the Proteus ages ago, didn't he? Yeah.
Long time
Never
ago.
happened.
Yes, it's taken a long time to come to fruition.
Because it was the Penelope and the Proteus he was talking about coming out at the same time,
Yes,
wasn't he?
yes, that's exactly right.
Thought so.
That's right. There you go.
Yeah.
And that's it. We've actually
Time's
reached.
up.
We've reached time. We've got to go. The producer says so, and I don't gainsay that. Yet again, I've got to say thank you to 2 shows on the belt there.
Aye.
Oh, dearie me, I don't know. Yes, I'm here on Thursday.
You are?
That's a first over the last couple of weeks. But tomorrow night we've got Marco van Basten with Vapor Scene, followed at 9:45 by our German language programme DE Talk. Tune in for both, I'm sure it'll be worthwhile. Wednesday night, Gary Dibley and the mod master, that is Mark Jones, I am assured this time it's going to be a bloodbath. It better be. Sick of waiting for the blood. There's never any blood. They say there's going to be blood, then there's never blood.
Disappointing.
Tis a bit. Tis a bit. There's
No
no blood. We'll go down and we'll chop all of Gary's fingers off.
Poor lad.
Poor lad. He is. He's poor lad. He's poor lad. Poor lad. Poor lad. Thursday night VT talk. We'll be talking about Wales. We might be talking about Scotland, and we'll definitely be talking about some figures that have come out of Switzerland that show, as we said last night, that e-cigs are tremendously effective, as in the recidivism rate is 6% as opposed to NRT's 94%. There's a hell of a difference there. And that'll all be coming up on Thursday night, and then Dave's Tackle Box is back next weekend, isn't it, Chris?
I believe so, yes.
So it's all good, and don't forget RY4 Radio every night after vaportrails.tv. It's been a pleasure and a joy and a privilege to share the last hour with you two and everybody out there. Thank you so much for joining us, and don't forget, until we see you next time, vape on. Come on, Keith. Vape hard.
Vape hard.
And don't let the bastards grind you down. Till we see you next time, take care of each other. Vape on. Bye bye.
Night.
Say bye bye, Chris.
Bye bye, Chris.
Bye bye.
Save the Cigs, sponsors of the Haze Hour.